Well, here we are again. This time it is walking up with a backpack. Oh, there's not too much in it. There is stuff in it. I'm carrying a full backpack, but it's not that I bought apple juice. It's not that I bought apple juice, potatoes, and cucumbers, and coffee cream. It's just apple juice and coffee cream. Other stuff. I got the potatoes at home and the cucumbers I ordered, they will be delivered to me. So yeah, we left off discussing sort of, well, I was talking about the elite and their agenda to kind of, tamper with our brains, and also by that weakening us as the masses, because that's what we are. We are like 99.99999%, or they are, I think they are even less than 1%, or they are 0.001%, people, and we are far more. So you do the calculation. So if they are not just 1%, that 1% to 99%, that would still be a mismatch. Like if they own all and the 99% compared to them have like nothing, but they are 0.001%. So maybe Occupy was organized for that reason, to instill in our minds that, at least we are 99%, so at least they are 1%. No, they aren't. They are just 0.001%. And this is like really a minority, as they call themselves, the dominant minority. And that's what they are. They dominate us by all these means, which is school. And in Switzerland, that would be 9 years of indoctrination, brainwashing, and putting people at their right places, as the elite likes to have it. The output is always people go learning a job instead of asking themselves, what is my talent? Where is my fulfillment in life? It's not paying taxes. So just getting a job for paying the taxes and being a good citizen, that's what they want us to be. Some kind of, robot-like human being. So, the media is another big part, including all the books, all the learning material. Like when you learn Spanish, you learn about people going to school, getting their proper job. So by that too, that's brainwashing. The schooling materials, books, everything in media, which would be television and the magazines and advertisement, like everything. And museums, like you can say the Guggenheims took over art by creating MoMA and now having the say. So they go a few strokes with your brush. That's art. But usually it's not that difficult to do that sort of modern art, you know. So that's another way of taking over the kind of having the say in mainstream, taking over the say in all the categories. Could be anything, could be, now we just had art, but also science. So now they came up with quantum computing, and I'm telling you, just go and unbiased watch a video about quantum computing. They aren't even able to explain it themselves. And when you look at it, you know this machine ain't working. So by saying, oh yeah, what's that guy called in his wheelchair that they exchanged about 3 times? He's always having a different outlook, and it's not because of aging. Little History of Time, I read it, and it makes no sense. It doesn't teach you anything about reality. It's all magical hocus pocus out there, just like Harry Potter is. So when you grow up, like I checked all the movies out right now, it's all animation movies, like it's Avengers, X-Men, Black Man, you know. So I went like, huh? Can't I see real humans in movies anymore? Is it all about a artificial world now? Yeah. So when you grow up with these kind of movies, you go thinking the movie world is about animation movies. It's not about sincere acting, people trying to put themselves into a certain mood and then convey this sort of story to you. No, you know. So it's like all the art movies, art house movies now feel sort of outdated, because no artificial intelligence, no computer generated imaging is needed for them. So you go like, well, they aren't as modern, are they? So it's like PewDiePie when he puts out his daily 10 minutes of this and that, you know. If it's not edited, it's like worth less, isn't it? So by all these media, you are brainwashed, because usually you go, oh, I'm learning, oh, I'm entertained, these two things. But actually, by the way they put things, you are brainwashed. It's the way they teach you in Spanish that this little girl is going to school and will get this and that good grades and be happy about it. So then you go learning Spanish by being able to repeat this sort of story, but then you also intake. A good feeling is when you get good grades, but the very thing is about the grades, it's always a you know, what is it called when you have a group and you level? Say that when you have made 3 mistakes, it'll be on your scale from 1 to 10, let's say 3 errors would be still a 9, and you go on like this, and then you say the lowest degree you get, a note, won't be a 1, it will be like a 6, because you don't want your whole class to fall beyond that. So that one in itself is like a lie. So why would I want to measure myself against a kind of superficially set limit? So that one. And then also, why do I want to compete against all the ones in my class. I'm a unique human being. You cannot set me up against others. And if you do so, it's only because you want to do so later on. Me accepting it would be what you want. But if you go into a anthroposophic school, you will learn that they don't do any competition, because in itself this is not beneficial to humans. If you all compete for the same task, oh yes, then of course, but you should not, because in a naturally grown environment you would have a village, and some people are good in sowing, some in plowing, some in planning, some in building, some in giving advice, some in looking after the children, and some in running to other places and getting water, you know. It's like your talents are not jeopardized in an environment like that. So if you want to grow up and maybe get 140 years old, you go to an African village, because there everyone gets its job and everything else is unnecessary. So your talents are worshipped. But if you're all competing for the job to do the constructions of the buildings, you know, if you're all competing, that one never exists in a society that is naturally ruled. Everyone can do its own house. So, you know, it's not like in architecture nowadays where just a few get to do these planning jobs. So then maybe, you know, getting the water is really easy to do. Usually children are administered, go and get the water. Or if it's long distances, the women go and do the cooking and stuff. And men look after the animals or do some hunting of stuff. So in a naturally grown society, you don't have rules. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to look everyone else into the eyes. So everyone gets its proper place to do their share. And then, of course, in our society that is artificially grown, not grown but created, so you need to have rules and laws and judges and the taxes, and nothing is for free. Even if there is something free to take, it's forbidden to do so. Or then there is old laws that tell you, oh yeah, you may. So the leftovers in any field you're free to take, but not many know about that. So like that you get tricked into getting yourself a job so you can pay the rent, and by doing so you pay taxes, and by doing so you need to have some sort of registration onto the government, which would be a ID card that costs you. And also, you know, I'll start in here.